Hi, Rachel. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. So we are going to do a clinical interview on just gathering information for you to be able to see what you're in here for and all of that good stuff. So what is your age?
I'm 36.
You're 36. And your race?
I'm a mix of so many things.
Are you? Where are you originally from?
I'm here.
From Washington?
Yeah.
Were you born and raised?
Grew up, yeah.
What about your family?
The East, down south.
Whole bunch of everywhere?
Yeah.
Have you ever traveled outside of Washington before?
Yes.
Do you have any specific cultural beliefs?
Can you explain what a cultural belief would be?
So, like, what is your ethnicity?
Okay. So a number of things.
Like, what do you mainly identify with?
Well, my mom was pretty mixed. My dad's Hispanic, so so growing up with a lot of that, but then also my mom, and even being mixed, her mom is from the South, but there's a lot of Irish background there, and but being from the South, I don't know what you would call it. I guess like Southern living style, Southern hospitality.
Be respectful.
Yeah, you don't really see that many places. So
I was
guess
just talking
it's
to
kind
a
of
coworker about that.
its own culture.
Mm-hmm. How many siblings do you have, if you have any?
Four.
Are they older, younger?
I have two older brothers and two little sisters.
How is your relationship with them?
Really good. Really good. We're all really close.
Do they still live here in Washington?
All of them except for one of my sisters.
What is the primary language that you use in your household? English. Do you know any other languages?
I know a little bit here and there of different languages, but I couldn't have a
Nothing
conversation with
fluent.
anybody. No.
I'm just going to ask about your parental history.
Okay.
Do you have any children?
I don't.
What city? You're born here in Washington. Were you raised by both mother and father?
Yeah. Actually, yeah. My parents didn't divorce until I was in my late 20s, so.
Okay. Do you still talk to both parents?
Absolutely.
That is nice. So, I'm going to ask several questions to collect data to help set the framework and the structure for the future therapy sessions.
Okay.
What brought you today?
Well, I came in to meet with my therapist initially. I was just having a lot of anxiety. I couldn't calm down, so I needed to see her.
How long has that anxiety been going on for?
Gosh.
For a lot of your life?
Yeah.
Even growing up as a child?
Yeah. My mom has really bad anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
I just assume I get it from her hereditary.
Have you ever sought treatment before for it, or?
No. Well, I tried a few years ago, and I just really wasn't feeling like we were getting anywhere. So I stopped. But I got my therapist, which is why I'm here. I kind of just turned it into a PRN thing where I just see her if I need to. Yeah, so I came in for this.
How has your mood been in the last 2 weeks?
Overall, not that good.
Can you explain a little bit about that? Not too in depth, because we'll do that during the sessions, but
Sure.
explain a little.
Kind of mood swingish. Just kind of up and down like a roller coaster. I'll wake up positive and then, I don't know, maybe 4 hours later I'll just get mad at a thought or depressed or it just goes up and down.
Interesting. So you don't feel your moods are pretty stable?
No.
They are pretty up and down. I'm going to give you several words that I would like you to put in category. There's 4 categories. Current, last 30 days, never has occurred, or it has occurred. So you already mentioned the anxiety has been going on forever. Depression?
Occasional.
Anxiety's been so excessive worrying,
Yeah.
difficulty tolerating crowds and stuff.
Yes.
How's your concentration?
When I'm not feeling anxious, it's great. I'm able to focus and stay on track and not be sidetracked or anything like that.
But when you're anxious,
Yes.
it's not good at all.
Absolutely.
Irritability.
I can get pretty irritable. Noises really bother me. Too many things going on.
Bothers me.
Mm-hmm.
Memory loss.
Yeah.
Pretty good with that. Do you feel like you have any delusions or paranoia?
No.
Have you ever felt really up and had a lot of energy
Yes.
and this lasted for a few days?
Yes.
Okay. Any auditory hallucinations?
Yes.
Do you hear anything? Do you see any hallucinations? Racing thoughts?
No.
Have you ever had any of the above?
Yes.
Which
Racing
ones?
thoughts. When I have anxiety again.
That's what happened.
Yeah.
Trouble sleeping?
Not lately.
How often do you have it sometimes though?
I do have it sometimes. It's been probably a couple weeks.
Mm-hmm. Do you know what kind of leads to those, having bad sleeps?
Normally, I try to diary. I'll try to journal and see how I'm doing, kind of like throughout the days and throughout the nights.
Has it helped?
Just kind of a little bit. Going to bed, not having things cleared out of my mind really
Keeps your
doesn't
mind
help with-
racing.
Yeah.
It's not able. Do you have nightmares when you do get a good night's sleep? No. And then, do you feel like lately you've had an increase or decrease of the need to sleep?
Probably an increase.
An increase. Do you feel like you have any compulsive behaviors?
Yes.
Explain a little bit about that, please.
When I get, I like to spend money.
You do?
Yes. Yeah. It doesn't matter where it is.
Mhm.
It doesn't matter what it's for. I'll always find a reason.
To spend money?
Yeah.
Has there been any negative impact from you spending?
Absolutely. My finances are a mess.
Are they? Have you been trying to work on that?
Well, I make a lot of plans in my head.
Mhm.
I have talked to a few people about things that I could do. Kind of just put my paychecks in their bank account and they just take out money, stuff like that. But no, I just I don't know, if it's called procrastination or
when you're ready,
giving
you'll
up that
get there.
control.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. I like to spend money, and I'll do it as a coping skill. So.
Well, we will talk about that in one of the next sessions.
Okay.
Do you have any substance-related problems, or do you have any addictions?
I don't think so.
None at all?
I don't think so. When I get stressed out, I will smoke a cigarette. But
And that's only when you're stressed?
yeah.
What about drinking? When's the last time you've had a drink?
Once. Not a big drinker.
Have you ever noticed your thoughts were ever disorganized?
Yes.
In what kind of situation? Just
In a stressful situation. Or even sometimes, if something good happens, then I've got all of these happy thoughts and they're all scattered and I just can't seem to
put them all together.
Mhm.
Do you have any trouble with the amount of food that you consume? Are you getting enough food? Are you getting too much food?
I'm pretty cautious about my my intake. Well, I try to be cautious. I mean, I feel like we all have those days where we're like, give me the damn cookies,
Yeah.
who cares? But other days I'm more steady with staying
And
on track
cautious
with
on what you're eating.
what my body needs versus what I think I want, and stuff like that.
So I'm going to ask a little more in depth. But do you feel like right now you have, or lately you've had any suicidal thoughts?
No.
To harm yourself? What about harming others?
No.
Have you ever harmed yourself?
Unless you count smoking as that.
Like self-mutilation or anything like that?
No.
We're going to talk about like trauma. Like, is there any traumatic situation? So have you ever been exposed to any of these situations, we can talk about it later on in another therapy, but a vehicle accident? Have you ever been in an accident?
Yep.
How has that affected you, do you think?
For a long time, I was afraid to drive on freeways.
Mm-hmm.
But, gosh, it's been years since I've been afraid to drive on freeways. So,
You've coped with that one.
yeah.
Any accidents at work?
No.
Where do you work?
I work for Safeway, actually.
How long have you worked there for?
I've been there for, almost 6 years now.
So you must like it.
I do, yeah.
That's
Great
good.
people. It's at night where I don't have to worry about people around me all the time.
Mhm.
I can just,
So you're in your own zone.
yeah.
Have you ever been a victim of a crime?
My house was robbed before.
And how did you feel after that?
I don't know the right word. Gosh. What's it called? Violated.
You felt violated?
Yes.
Did you ever get treatment or anything after that? No. Do you feel like that affects you in any ways?
Absolutely.
We can talk about that. Bring that up later. Were you ever physically abused?
No.
Sexually abused?
No.
Any traumatic losses, like a family member passed away, or
No.
have you ever been involved in domestic violence?
No.
So, substance abuse. I wanted to touch on that again. I know you said you didn't have any, just smoking occasionally and stuff. So, even when you were younger, you've never experimented with anything?
I experimented with marijuana,
And then just
but yeah.
wasn't your thing?
Yeah.
So you've never been in trouble with the law or anything in regards to substance abuse? It hasn't affected your life at all?
No.
Because you haven't. Do you gamble?
No.
Have you ever sought treatment for therapy, for medication, or just for therapeutic sessions before?
Just for sessions, yeah.
So you mentioned before about your
Yeah.
anxiety. You didn't really feel like it was going anywhere because
No.
anxiety was still there.
I mean, there were some tools that she would, give me to use outside of here, and I tried them for a while, and they did good. And then I was like, I can do without. I can do without therapy. So
Did she ever put you on medication?
we talked about it, but never prescribed. Or
Do you feel like you would do good on medication, or would you like to try other routes?
I would like to try other routes.
We can work on that. Were there any precipitating factors that led you to come into therapy today?
The past week, my anxiety's been pretty hard to control.
Mm-hmm.
The past week, I'm not able to stay focused on anything. I'll do my laundry and I won't even put it away. I'm normally pretty obsessive about where things are and make sure everything's put where it's supposed to go and not leave anything out. And I keep a pretty tidy place. But yeah, just lately this past week I'm looking around and things are just, it's like I've lost that.
Disheveled.
Yeah.
Do you have a support system?
Other than my parents, my siblings.
And do both of your parents live around here?
Yes.
In Washington.
They
They're still in
do.
Washington, and you
Yes.
do talk to them frequently. And your finances, like we discussed before, are a little,
Rocky.
they're not where you want them to be because of your spending habits.
Correct.
You can work on that. Just describe briefly how it was growing up in your household.
My mom's side of the family being from the South, the woman's background normally takes over
Mm-hmm.
when you're in a relationship with somebody. So we grew up Pentecostal, church 3 times a day. To be honest, I had a storybook childhood growing up. Till I was about 16, maybe. Then I don't know if it's just because then you start noticing different things, or it wasn't bad after that. My parents weren't doing well,
But growing up, what you guys saw
Absolutely,
was
yeah.
great. So family history, we're going to go over a little bit about that because sometimes family history does play a part in people's lives.
Mhm.
So is there any alcohol or abuse or dependency?
No.
Any substance abuse?